and gentlemen, please welcome Trista and Ryan Sutter. Now, Trista and Ryan, as we did mention before, are godparents of Ruby Princess.
Well, it all started with a little show called The Bachelor, and I was kind of in a rut, so I applied online, and they said they were interested in seeing more, so I sent in a videotape and pictures and filled out this questionnaire. And they asked me to be on the first Bachelor, and so I asked my boss. At the time I was working at Miami Children's Hospital in pediatric physical therapy, and asked if I could have a leave of absence for 6 weeks, and she said that was fine. Back in Miami, the exec producer called me and said, would you consider doing The Bachelorette? And I said, sign me up, because at that point in time I was serious about it, and I knew that they, you know, kind of had the wherewithal to find me somebody, and I was right. It's one of my biggest regrets, but I couldn't tell him, or at least I felt like I couldn't tell him how I was feeling, because of what had happened to me on the first Bachelor, and that Alex had said he was going to choose me, and he didn't, so I didn't want to hurt someone like I had been hurt.
You know, Trista said she asked for 6 weeks off. I went to my fire chief, as I was working at the fire department at the time, and still am, and asked for a week off, because I figured, you know, I'd go, I'd show up, and she'd say, no, go home. But you know, I wrote her this, I wrote her a poem for the initial night, not really knowing much about her, but just as an introduction to who I was, and that worked. So I had to continually ask for more time off, and luckily the department was very understanding and gave me the time off, and I was able to sort of focus on Trista. But when we had the panel discussion earlier, someone sort of asked us about going on the show, and that we were obviously on it for the right reasons, but I think both of us initially entered this process really not necessarily looking for someone to fall in love with and have a family with, just sort of looking for a life experience and an opportunity to have some fun and grow as individuals. I think when it was down to 8 guys or something like that, I laid in my bed and had to make a conscious decision within myself, because I could sort of start to feel myself developing feelings for Trista, and didn't want to, you know, I'm a competitive person, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't just getting into this competition to win.
And mind you, the day that we got engaged, unbeknownst to me at the time, thank God, but he disappeared and they couldn't find him. You know, he was like, what am I doing? Why am I here? You know, she might not choose me. And he returned, thankfully, as you all saw. But yeah, thank God you came back. I mean, when I went on the original Bachelor, I had no idea what I was, you know, going for or doing, and even after it was over, I wouldn't have imagined that it would have lasted this long. So it's just always really surprising and humbling that people are still interested in hearing about us and are still kind of rooting for us. You know, we made it a point to move away from that, try to get away from it. Vail, Colorado is not known for being the Hollywood of Colorado, so I'm really glad that we made the effort to get back to Colorado, because I really truly can't imagine being anywhere else, and it's a great place to raise our kids. And Ryan is just the true mountain man. I mean, if he weren't in the mountains, I think that we would have a very different relationship, because he'd be unhappy, you know. We'd love to take advantage of situations like this where, you know, we can come and cruise and meet a bunch of great people and do that sort of thing as kind of our role in the public eye, but then go back to our private life.